Okay, and we're back. Next up is Kryle's section of MSQ. Kryle's intent on uncovering the reason behind the forum's inexplicable behavior. We'll see about that. An unsettling changes come over Charlene, but together we will define the underlying cause for the forum's callousness. Okay. As I mentioned before, however, questioning counselors directly is a fruitless endeavor. Yep, they seem to have already come to a consensus as to what and how little they're willing to divulge. So I began scouring Charlene's archive of historical records for any hint of a connection to the final days. Suffice it to say that the progress has been slow. There are only so many dusty pages one can skim through in a day. Now that I have this band of willing reinforcements, the search should proceed all the swifter. Let's reconvene on side Nomenon, shall we? Okay. Exit X to the right. Find the archives to the western edge of the woods. Okay. Man, it's gonna be a long ass series. And we go this way. Let's see here. Okay. Oh, is it up? Oh, it's up this way. There's Kryle. My directions were easy to follow enough, I hope. In any case, you stand now before the doors of the Nomenon. Charlene's grandest collection of books and tomes. This building is actually only an entrance, and one of many at that. The archives of the Nomenon extend deep beneath the surface like the roots of a tree. Vast halls of the Great Google Library pale in comparison to Nomenon's endless maze of subterranean chambers. Any citizen of Charlene is free to enter and peruse its shelves. Well, most of its shelves. Only archons are afforded access to certain restricted vaults. I've dispatched Stola and Graha to investigate those. Meanwhile, Alize and Alphno help me continue my search through stacks open to the general public. Your status presents more of a problem. Yeah. As a non-citizen, you're only permitted to browse the first floor here at the entrance. Even so, there should be a number of books which touch upon Charlene history or foreign policy. Your task will be to find and study relevant publications. I promised you a working knowledge of the subjects will make it far easier to spot the sort of clues we're looking for. Let's be about it, shall we? I've told the others to meet us at the stone benches over there once they've found some promising tomes. Happy reading. Man. Oh, this is a decent amount of reading and stuff we gotta go through. Okay. Title on the spine reads Story of Charlene. Read the book. Okay. Long, long ago on an island in the Northern Sea, there lived a rugged man by the name of Nunkrep. Nunkrep was a student of astrology, and he divined that a flood of terrifying proportions would soon sweep over the lands of Eorzea. So it was that he built a gigantic ship, assembled a crew, and set sail for that imperiled realm. The flood arrived as foretold, and to their horror, the strangely churning waters drug people towards the ocean. It was there, however, that Nunkrep's crew hauled them aboard his ark, but the danger had not passed. A towering wave approached, threatening to smash the vessel to pieces. With only moments to spare, Nunkrep wove a mighty spell of teleportation and shifted the entire ship to safety atop Abalathia's spine. Refugees from the surrounding regions huddled there alongside them, but it was not long before disputes over the dwindling supply of food led to violence and bloodshed. Saddened by the night, Nunkrep gathered to him his crew and his grateful passengers and abandoned their ark to those reddened peaks. Journeyed to the coast where they built a new ship, intent upon returning to the northern seas. They landed on the beach of an island and settled upon that very spot. That settlement prospered and grew, and in time became the city of Charlene we live in to this day. Okay. Title on the spine reads Roads of Old Colony. Many years ago, on the banks of the Thaliac in the Dravanian hinterlands, a Charlian colony once thrived. The settlement was originally established as a mere outpost to study the ethereal sea in the year 1311 of the 6th astral era. Scholars dispatched to Eorzea found the facilities wanting. The demands encouraged a gradual expansion of structures and services. As rumors spread of a growing community of academics, the area was further inundated with Eorzean students hoping to share in the renowned wisdom of the Charlians. 50 years later, Forum passed a motion to recognize what had become a flourishing town as an official Charlian colony. Eorzean residents took to calling the colony itself Charlian, which led to no small amount of confusion when discussions turned to the subject of the motherland. In response, some Charlian inhabitants, if pressed for a name, would simply refer to it as the Emporium. Following a great exodus, however, goblins and treasure hunters claimed for themselves a corner of the abandoned colony and gave it yet another name, Idleshire. Following chapters go on to introduce the most prominent features of Idleshire. This book does not appear to contain additional information on the Forum. Cover the history of the Charlian motherland in greater detail. Okay. Time-worn tome. What other tomes are there here? I'm curious. What do I say? Leather-bound tome. Blue-covered book. Well-worn manual. Let's go on this side. Relevant to the subject. Oh, okay. So out of all of these, I have to find 3 that are relevant to what we're looking for. Okay. Yeah, let's just finish this side first then. Voice of a Growing City. In the years which followed the founding of Charlian, civic policy and other matters of import were decided at Ecclesia, public forum at which every citizen was eligible to speak. As the city's population grew, however, this format became increasingly impractical. A larger number of participants gave rise to ever longer debates, resulting in significant delays in vital resolutions. Various measures were introduced in an attempt to curtail protracted discussions, but in the year 201 of the 6th astral era, it was ultimately decreed that Charlian would transition to a new form of governance. The nation would now be led by a body of 99 members, citizens chosen from amongst their peers by means of a nationwide vote. Thus was the form as we know it today, conceived and created. Okay. I do want to read all of these books, though, if possible. Introduction to the Heavens. Have you ever gazed at the skies above and contemplated mysteries contained therein? I speak not of shifting cloud patterns, but the vastness beyond of the sun and twinkling tapestry of the night. Some think the dome above us to be a finite space, yet among the leading thinkers of our age, one scholar's depiction of the boundless sea of stars has firmly taken root. Alas, this heavenly sea remains an unreachable, unknowable destination. There are few indeed who can explain in satisfactory detail why our own star is believed to revolve around the sun. It was a technologists of Alig who came closest to understanding the laws which govern that starry abyss. It was they who launched Dalamud and sought to explain beyond our earthbound existence. Having read of their ancient ambitions, I wonder, has your interest in this field of study waxed or waned? What if I were to tell you that the eternal constellations were arranged differently in the distant past, that their positions continue to shift almost imperceptibly but measurably as we journey into the future? Would it shock you to learn that the stars drift further and further apart and may indeed do so forever? But you're eager to learn more? This is a book on the wrong subject. Search for works which contain details on form. Oh, okay. So this one's not a book about Charlian or the Forum. Forever 20 Summers. That one's just about astrology and stuff. My beloved seekers of knowledge, have you ever put learning before your health and neglected to feed and rest your body as you should? I too once engaged in such foolish practices, but one night, engrossed in philosophical study, I had an epiphany. For all the world's mysteries that drive us to reckless abandon, we have so very few years of life in which to achieve our goals. Thus do I share with you this mantra. I am forever 20 summers young. The number itself is unimportant. You could be 19 or 23 or 40. Whatever age you are when you discover this manual, let that be the age you aspire to remain. Through mindful, healthy living, will you extend the time available to spend upon your chosen research. Another day, another moon, another summer to grasp the greater truths you pursue. The pages that follow will explore the secrets of maintaining one's physical condition from biological Theological and arcane viewpoint. This isn't it. Okay. Alright, so this has to be last one, right? I think. Yeah. Stewards of Wisdom. This has to be it. During the chaos of the Sixth Umbral Calamity, Archon Youngkrupp, founder of Charlene, bore witness to the madness and savagery of men brought to the brink of despair. Upon raising a sun on an island in the northern empty, he instructed his people thus: renounce the ways of war and pursue enlightenment through knowledge and reason. The Charlanes took to heart the words of their savior, and thenceforth served as stewards of wisdom. Upon a foundation of accumulated learning, they built a homeland unlike any other, a nation born from strength of minds rather than strength of arms. With knowledge of economics came shrewd trading. With knowledge of agriculture came bountiful crops. Engineering brought wells and sewers, ending squabbles over water. Wealth of expertise could be bartered for wealth and coin. And the more their wisdom spread throughout the world, the more mankind as a whole would thrive. And so it was that no matter the trials and tribulations of the age, the citizens of Charlene would live by their founder's teachings, for the sake of a better tomorrow, for the sake of a brighter star. They would eschew the tools of war, and with knowledge deliver the world. Okay. Gain fundamental understanding of Charlene history and the foundation of the forum. Head outside to rendezvous point and await companions. Okay. Well, at least I got to do what I set out to do here. Read all the books. Rendezvous point over here? Yep. Sorry, were you waiting long? No, I just got here. Wanted to make sure I borrow at least a few promising volumes. Alphno and Crawl should also be along shortly. I was delayed in a similar fashion. As far as I could see, no titles in the Archon stacks mention the final day specifically, so we have no choice but to start with a tangentially relevant tomes, if they are even that. At present, the plan is to skim through as quickly as we dare and share our discoveries as we make them. Would have been nice to invite everyone to the estate. Plenty of comfortable places to read and a ready supply of hot tea. Oh, I was always quite fond of reading outside. But it's not about the little pleasures, is it? You miss your home. It's been difficult. After our arrival, we managed to speak with one of the family servants and ask how things were. It seems our dear father has instructed the staff that even if Alphino and I were to return to Charlene, we're not allowed to cross the threshold. That sucks. A harsh measure indeed. I hope that our efforts to understand his position and that of the forum will perhaps lead to a reconciliation. We'll mend this rift one day, I'm certain of it. And what of you, Graha? Have you been to visit your family, or do they not live here in the city? Oh, well, the situation is also somewhat complicated. I was raised in Charlene, yes, but I was born rather further away. The southern reaches of Ilzabard, in fact. For generations, my people have dwelt in Corvos, coastal region opposite the island of Thavnir. Algans founded a city in that fertile land and by ship brought in the subjugated tribes of the Makote to serve as laborers. Of course, massive earthquakes of the Fourth Umbral Calamity brought an end to the Empire's reign, and when the Fifth Calamity froze the seas solid, many of the tribes still living in Corvos braved the journey back to Eorzea. My ancestors, however, chose to remain that they might prevent the remnants of Algan technology from being misused. Isn't Corvus under Garlean rule? The past 50 years, yes, some semblance of local culture remains, as is the case for most imperial provinces, but Garmal renamed the region to Locus. Oh, that's okay, that's a place. Locus Ammonius? Ammonius? Yeah, I don't know. When I was a boy, a nearby town came under the jurisdiction of an illustrious imperial family, a noble house of Darnus. House Darnus demonstrated a singular interest in elegant civilization, so my tribe was forced to consider a plan of action. For some time already, voices have been raised in favor of abandoning our ancient customs. After all, the Allegan eye had no longer passed to our eldest children as reliably as it once had. Fear of discovery eventually tipped the scales, and the decision was made to bury our ties to the knowledge and traditions of Alec. As the last child born with the Elegant Eye, I was given over to the custody of friends and students of Baldesion who had me registered as a Charlian citizen. I never even considered. Forgive me, it was an unkind question. Even Thinker was taken in by Archon Louis Sois, was he not? Stories of adopted wives and rescued orphans are more common among Charlians than you might think. Yet regardless of our origins, we are all provided with an equal opportunity to learn. And with sufficient, oh god. Where's the pat? I don't even know. We outsiders can even earn the vaunted title of Archon. 'Tis exactly why I have such love for this country, and why I wish to remain a nation of which its citizens can be proud. Here. Another good reason to get to the bottom of the forum's stubbornness, aside from the trifling matter of our pending doom. Excuse us while we try to make some headway into these books. More company should be arriving at any moment now. Yep. Then we wait again. Lots of waiting. We've returned with our selections, although I must say the pickings were quite slim indeed. Mr. Cryle had already flicked through every history book devoted to disasters, more than a few which barely made mention of them. As such, we'll be looking to research papers on the umbral calamities, as well as articles written by prominent forum members. Perhaps their knowledge of the final days comes from an unexpected source. Speaking of which, might I ask you a few questions related to the final days? I'm the only one here who didn't witness the events of Amarat firsthand, and fear I may be overlooking critical details. Okay. My thanks. Now where to begin? Okay, I was just double checking that. First things first, what kind of phenomena did the ancients encounter as the final days drew nigh? Stabilization, creation, primals, and unraveled power summon. I'm trying to remember. All I remember is like meteors falling from the sky. Let's go with that. Might have been. I think the first one might have been better. I believe Heidelin and Zodiac were summoned after the final days arrived, quite deliberately, in fact. Okay, so it must have been the first one. For speaking of phenomena caused by the final days, chaos of creation magics run rampant, is what first comes to mind. Fear and despair manifested in terrible, tangible fashion. Meteors raining from the sky, fire erupting from the ground, indescribable abominations prowling the streets. Okay, I probably should have gone with that. It more or less aligns with my understanding. If only the arts of creation had survived until the present day, we might have had something substantial to analyze. To the best of our knowledge, however, those techniques were not preserved or passed on. Chitola surmises that the closest known magic is that of the summoning rituals promulgated by the Asians. Okay. Is there aught else of note which heralded the approach of the final days? I have no can answer this one. Pretty much this one. Let's see, it began with a keening sound from lands. I do vaguely remember this. Hello. Oh god, going back and thinking. These two are the most reminiscent, but I can't remember which one. I'll just go with this one. Yep, I am misremembering. As I recall, it was more of a gradual spread. The Amaratines spoke of a keening sound that rose from the land itself just before the region was visited by catastrophe. We never did hear this sound ourselves, of course, thrust as we were into the midst of madness. Well, that's 0 for 2. So the ground was crying out, you say. To be considered the harbinger of doom, it must have been quite distinctive, and probably quite loud. I have to speak with one of the Nomenon's mammoths and ask for any books which may make mention of such a sound. And last but not least, would you describe how the ancients sought to quell this unprecedented calamity? What definitive action did they take? They knocked Dalamud from the sky? No, that was way after. Okay, they summoned Zodiac. That's gotta be it. That's the only one I can get right? There's no way I'm over 3 here. Okay, that's the only one I get. Yeah, so a little bit serving as his heart, so many gave themselves in sacrifice to bring him into being. We don't know exactly how Zodiac brought salvation to the star, only that by his godlike will were the laws of nature set aright. And once the balance was redressed, the ancients offered up a further sacrifice to heal the ravages of the final days. Lies spread anew, and it was these fledgling souls that they intended to render unto Zodiac, a trade that would have allowed them to resurrect the shades of loved ones absorbed by the primal. Or might have, had Vena and their followers not manifested their opposition in the form of Hydaelyn. Thank you, both of you, for the detailed review. Hell, it was Alphano that gave you the review, not me. I feel much more confident now in my understanding of events. With all that freshly in mind, it does make me wonder what the Telophori truly mean when they speak of bringing back the final days. We've seen what they're doing with those towers of theirs. It's forcing people to summon primals as a kind of catalyst. Are they attempting to mirror the conditions caused by unstable creation magics? Or are they simply using the final days as a figure of speech, a convenient metaphor for the scale of destruction they plan to unleash? Good questions. I do not know. This is all just pointless conjecture at this stage. Let's return our attention to the forum, shall we? We should keep an eye out for Ashtola, but tis time we begin studying these research papers. Okay, and then last bit of waiting, I hope. I'm the last, am I? Well, my extended research of the Archon stacks produced 1 or 2 possibly useful books. But I wouldn't get your hopes up. If you recall, Urianger learned of the source of reflections from the Garen oracles. For its potential to cause panic and confusion, that tome was deemed apocrypha and sealed away in the Great Google Library. It is even less likely the knowledge of the Underworld, not to mention the horrors of the final days, would be left sitting on a shelf for any curious scholar to find. It stands to reason then that my colleagues, be they archons or counselors, should perforce be largely ignorant of the subject. Yet when you confronted Master Fauchenal with knowledge of the Telophori and their machinations, he scoffed at the suggestions that they posed a threat. He seemed adamant that the forum would know if the final days were truly upon us, which only supports the conclusion that whatever privileged wisdom is guiding the forum's behavior is being kept secret from the rest of the nation. Definitely hiding something. Not that I mean to excuse myself from reading duty. Whether they contain mention of final days or no, these books could yet hold something of value. You weren't thinking of leaving, were you? There's plenty of work for everyone. Do I have to read more books? Clearfoot feels like an age as Chola's research assistant. Oh, we become her assistant. I see. Speak with Kryl. Oh dear, you look exhausted. But what about your studies? Were you able to find any books on the subjects I mentioned? Yep. The day was well spent. Should you wish to read them again, a Mehmet at the reference desk will point you in the right direction. For the moment, though, I suggest you take a well-deserved rest. We might be occupied with our research for quite some time. Isaiah appears desperate in need of a study break. Ready for a tea break? I know I am. Honestly, my neck and shoulders are gonna calcify if I don't stretch my legs and walk around a bit. You know the last stand down in the harbor, don't you? Come and meet me near the outside tables and I'll treat you to their coffee. It's quite good. Alrighty. It's down this way. How's everybody doing today? As busy as ever, I see. A very Charlene that no other gourmet cafe has sprung up to compete for customers. Actually, this crowd gives me an idea. Before we place an order, why don't we ask a few questions and gauge the mood of the city? I'm interested to hear what the average citizen has to say about the Talafari. We might even learn something new. Worth a try, don't you think? Now accompanying Yuki says, okay. Okay, so it's just the same dialogue whenever someone accompanies you. What is it? Can a man not enjoy a moment of private respite? If you're looking to share a table, then I respectfully request that you look elsewhere. You misunderstand, sir. We're simply wondering if you knew of the Talafari. These enemies of peace have promised an end to all we hold dear, and... Wait, you're that House Livier girl, aren't you? And this man with you is obviously a foreigner. I'd heard you were disowned for helping outsiders indulge with their barbaric whims, and here you are giving the truth to the rumor. I'll thank you to leave me be, if not to say the likes of you. Well, I must apologize. 'Twas foolish of me to expect an ounce of civility from one so enlightened. Yeah, how rude. Rudy McButtface. Yes, I don't believe I've had the pleasure. Pray excuse the interruption, but we were hoping you might share your thoughts on the Talafari and their unconscionable plans. My goodness, if it isn't the young Miss Leveilleur. My apologies, but I work in the offices of the forum, and if word reached Master Fauchenal that I was helping you. I see. Sorry to have bothered you. Welcome, sir. What can I offer you today? Pint of your finest ale, please. Wait, is that Mistress Alize I see there? My word, how long has it been? Far too long. Meet Dickon. Dickon? The owner of the Last Stand. I used to frequent his cafe on occasion in between lessons at the studium. Man, he's still working here? Or at least still owns the place. It seems like an age ago now. I remember hearing that you and Master Halfno had set sail for Ares here, but then you never came back. Lately there's been gossip about your father disowning the pair of you. Is everything alright at home? No, sadly. It's complicated. Yeah, I know he's got a name. And I hadn't expected a complete stranger to be so familiar with our situation quite so quickly. Everyone has an opinion, it seems. A negative opinion. Well, it is House Leveilleur. No matter how discreet Master Fauchenal may have been, news of your family's doings never stays secret for too long. Things being what they are, what brings you back to the city now of all times? We have questions, and only Charlene has his answers. Tell me, Master Dickon, have you heard anything about the apocalypse of called the Final Days? I don't know what Koji was thinking naming this guy this name. What, like the end of the world? Nothing like that, I'm afraid. And that's what you're here to find? Information on this apocalypse? Yes, whatever we can learn. Unfortunately, your patrons appear to be unwilling to speak with me. Wish there's more I could do to help. Maybe you can pull some strings somehow. But maybe there is. You're a visitor to Charlene, aren't you? Yep. Then few will know of your face. We should be able to pass you off as a server with none the wiser. We just finished preparing a few orders. Strike up some friendly conversation while you're setting down the food, and you might just get the answers you're looking for. Not a bad idea. I hate to ask, but what do you think? I thought it was going to be another dialogue option again. That's a spirit. Pay attention now, and I'll explain where each of these dishes need to go. Oh no, I'm going to fail this again. Tisa is for the chatty group sitting by the water's edge. Alma is for our regulars. Highlander name of... Okay. Highlander by the name of... Oh god, I'm just going to say Heesla, because I know there's one for the her name is Gisela, but it's like spelled with a G, so I'm just gonna go with that. She's sitting on a table outside with a friend of hers. Okay. Behind them, you should see Makote Gentleman or the oven-baked lobster. Got all that? If you're not sure, just ask and I'll explain it again. Good luck. Okay, so... Oh god. Let's see. Cafe table. Let's see. You wanted the lobster. Right? Wait. Oh, I'm dumb. Let me see. Shh. They want the omelet, right? Over there? Tea set, right? Okay, good. Oh, thank God. I'm not gonna screw this up like I've done for everything else so far. Oh, my tea set. Lovely, thank you. The Talafa who now? I'm sorry, I've never heard of them, or their final days. My friends and I are somewhat uninformed when it comes to current events. Now, if you wanted to hear about the ritual arcane practice of the 6th astral era, common or esoteric, I'd be happy to talk your ear off. Okay. You want the omelet. Ah, finally. 2, 4, 6, 8. Let's dig in. No time to waste. Oh, I didn't realize that was a rhyme. What? The Talafrai? Ah, yes. I remember seeing the name in the latest Gazette. Gotten some grand claim about the end of days. Same old senseless warmongering. When will these fools grow tired of spilling each other's blood? Let's stay out of it, I say. The forum made the right choice, and I fully support our decision to remain neutral. And finally, you with your lobster roll thing. Baked lobster. At last, the oven-baked lobster is mine. You have no idea how long I've scrimped and saved and suffered for this heavenly dish. Final days? This is the first I've heard of it. Although that would explain why my friend's been rushed off his feet. Must be a busy time to be a gleaner. You don't know what a gleaner is? They're collectors of a sort. Travel the world procuring things that we haven't gotten here in Charlian. Priceless books, unusual live specimens, and so forth. So named for those folk who trail after the reapers in the fields. Pick up every grain which was missed. Aye, by all accounts, gleaning is a most meticulous and demanding profession. If these Talaprai make good on their audacious threats, then many uncatalogued rarities could be lost forever. Why else would the gleaners be buzzing about in such a frenzy? Watch the harbor and you'll see what I mean. They're carting loads in from the docks all day. It's never been this hectic before, not like this. Okay. Alright, Ellie, what you got? Any trouble with the customers? Were you able to get anyone talking? Somewhat. Interesting. You seem unaware of the final days, aside from whatever big news the gazettes are printing. Even Dickon had nothing to offer, and he's the best source of gossip in the city. The forum does have secret knowledge, then they've done an impressive job in ensuring no one whispers it in the wrong ear. In any case, thank you for playing the part so well. Here, that cup of coffee I promised. Thank you for the coffee. But let's enjoy our drink somewhere else, shall we? Maybe behind the peristyle, away from the gossips and their wagging tongues. Sure. Yes, this should do nicely. Out of the wind and out of sight.
When our father disowned us, I couldn't believe what I was hearing. It wasn't until much later that his words began to sink in, that I began to feel the weight of what it meant. Do you remember when the decision was made to come to Charlian? Graham said that the Forum was determined to keep us in the dark, and that Father's venomous performance was part of that strategy, to keep us at arm's length. Perhaps it was. Father argued with Grandfather on many occasions, but never with such dismissive contempt. And when he demanded what justifies the sacrifices we make in war, I honestly didn't know what to say. Neither did Alpha know, I know, but never for one moment did I believe we had made the wrong choice. So all I could do was fume silently. It was only afterwards that I realized how childish I had been, how being stubborn and self-righteous must run in the family. If I could have just mustered a civil response, then things might have turned out differently.
Is that those gleaners that the one guy mentioned?
They must be ferrying goods to Labyrinthos. A vast complex beneath the island. Charlian is famous for archiving knowledge from around the world. Well, that knowledge is not preserved exclusively in dusty tomes and desiccated samples. Our living library, comprised of all manner of flora and fauna, is housed and studied within that underground facility. Still, that did seem to be an unusually large shipment. When I lived here, it was rare to even see such cargo transported by boat. Wait, didn't you hear something in the last stand about the gleaners coming and going more than usual? Well, I think they're the ones we saw manning those boats. And gleaners answer to the Forum. If the appearance of the Telophoroi prompted this sudden burst of activity, then Labyrinthos may hold a clue as to what the Forum is planning.
I was excited to share revelations. Labyrinthine descent? Just tell the others what we've learned about the cleaners. Go ahead to Nomenon and I'll join you in a moment. Master Dickon won't want his cups back. Yep. Make sure you clean them out. Speak of crowds, we just go back to the annex. Oh, okay, yeah. The annex is probably close. Actually, yeah, I'll just go to the studio. I'm too lazy to run there. Then we'll go out this way. Not Ishtola. Welcome back. Been for a walk and cleared your head, have you? Not exactly. We did some impromptu investigating and turned up information on the Gleaners. Yep. At least what we're speculating so far. It makes sense. The Gleaners take their requests directly from institutions and bureaucrats, but as you say, they ultimately answer to the Forum. A sudden and significant increase in Gleaner traffic and cargo. Certainly it gives the impression of an overarching plan being put in motion. Let's see what theory we can build from the facts. As Ishtola observed earlier, Numnon's archives appear to contain no information concerning the final days. Coupled with what we learned at the last stand, we can be reasonably sure that most Charlans know nothing of that particular period of ancient history. Yet my father and his colleagues are not only familiar with the final days, but are also somehow certain that the destruction being perpetrated by the Talaferoi is wholly unlike these apocalyptic events. Moreover, the Forum claims to be so occupied by a duty of such pressing importance that they saw fit to unanimously deny Yorizio's request to aid. Or request for aid, I guess. Now the Gleaners, official agents of the state, have been mobilized on an unprecedented scale. I do not think it a stretch to conclude that the Gleaners' recent activities are in service to the Forum's secretive ends. Yep, they be sneaky beaky like. In which case our next course of action seems obvious. We visit Labyrinthos and assess the situation for ourselves. If we're lucky, the Gleaners will be far more receptive to our questions. Yeah, that's my question. What do we expect down there? Oh, I would hate to spoil the surprise. Interesting. As for myself, there are a few more subjects I should like to research. I may join you later, but feel free to leave behind your borrowed books and be on your way. I'll see to it that each is returned to its proper place. Thanks, Graha. That'd be a great help. Thank you, Graha. Let's head down the stairs over there and I'll show you where the entrance is. Ready? Labyrinthos is not too far from here, but you may find the path a bit disorienting. I'll take the lead, so stay close. As I try not to fall behind. Off we go then. This time we have to follow her around. Oh, she's so slow. I just like... Oh, I can't follow. Her auto path or whatever. It's pleasant here being amongst the trees. Sure. But we really should move along. You're the one who needs to move along. Now we run. Try to keep up. I don't even have to sprint. I can just... Yeah. Keep the path straight ahead. Got it. Cross the bridge. Okay. Up here, up where? This way? Rostra, not far now. Okay. Oh, over here. Here we are. There's a store and down the stairs. You did remember to attune the shard back there, didn't you? It'll make your life much easier if you need to come back in a hurry. Otherwise, we should keep moving. Yeah, I've attuned to every single one so far. Or already, I should say. We're all here now, yes? I've taken the liberty of securing permission for our group's descent. Okay. Right, everyone onto lift and down we go.
Deep beneath the scholar's city shines a false sun within a fabricated sky.
Oh, this
In
place.
any age exist those who consider the floor an extension of their bookshelves. And this vault's architects surely belonged to that special breed. If the stack grows too high, start a new one. If no room remains, then make more rooms. A simple solution at first, and then bit by bit, a profound transformation. Knowledge buried beneath knowledge, a growing, creeping labyrinth from which there is no escape.
Northern Empty, Labyrinthos. Okay. I had no idea Labyrinthos would be down below Charlian. Okay.
Not what you expected. I must admit, the artifice is very convincing. But I assure you that we are beneath Charlian itself. The breeze you feel, the flowing waters you hear, all created by the hand of man.
The island is volcanic, you see, and once upon a time this great hollow must have been a reservoir for magma. It was discovered some 400 years ago, at which point it was repurposed as a storage facility for scrolls and samples and such. Renovations have continued, with nigh on no interruption to this day, with the lower levels still undergoing expansion.
Aren't those people gleaners?
Aye, judging by their dress. They are said to work alone as a rule, but 'twould seem that rule is being enthusiastically broken today. It may be as you suspected, that they are engaged in a task apart from the norm.
Let's spread out and get some answers then. Ugh. Did you call to me just now?
Nope.
No. How odd. I must be a bit dizzy from the descent.
Something's gonna happen, Crow.
I'll be fine, I'm sure. Let's get to work, shall we?
Something's gonna happen there. Okay, we just talked to each of them, I guess. No, we talked to Gleaners. You here to help or give me more headaches? Because you don't have the look of a Gleaner, and I'm in no mood for idle chatter. One of my colleagues was so exhausted he took a tumble and crashed into a pile of crates. Now have a pack of marmots running loose. Exchange with Aaron Bills taught you about exhausted Gleaners. Okay. Let me think. The Raya seeds should be item 1058, Cumin seeds 1059, Snurwleberry 1060. Or are they 1061? My head feels like it's stuffed with mako grass. Why more load to take out than carry in? Why do all this at once and risk mixing it up? What if someone mistakes the Carthan carrots for Garabanian carrots? What then? Exchange the Tea has taught you about large shipments coming in and out of Labyrinthos, okay. And last but not least, Dobbin. Dobbin? You wanna know what I'm doing? Hauling books, and ore, and fauna. If it needs hauling, I haul it. Every decade or so, they take stock in Labyrinthos. You know, sort and tidy up the inventory. Never seen an operation like this before, though. They just did one a few summers ago, even. Then, with no worrying at all, this mess gets dropped into our laps. Ordering from on high. Damned if I know the reason. Could be that they're changing the layout, eh? Preparing for the next big expansion. Ha! Big expansion. Endwalker. Ha, I get it. Senior Dog has taught you about taking stock in Labyrinthos. Okay. Do we talk to... Yeah, we talked to Cryo. Any luck? What tales do the Gleaners have to tell? 1, 2, 3. So this grand operation began without warning, and for every item they bring in, they're sending more inventory somewhere else. It would explain the haggard faces I've been seeing. We were right, the forum's definitely up to something. They're turning Labyrinthos upside down in the process. Yep. Glorified rat catcher? Kyle appears lost in thought. We do well to learn more of what specifically the Gleaners are being tasked to do, as well as who is tasked to do it. I cannot speak today. If you're a game, then I have an idea. I have to bend down or crouch down just to talk to her. Didn't one of the Gleaners you questioned say something about escaped marmots? Perhaps if you're able to help him capture sick creatures, he might be inclined towards a more friendly and enlightening conversation. In the meantime, I'll turn my charms upon this Gleaner here. You can compare notes afterwards. Happy hunting. I don't know what kind of charms you got, Crowd, but good luck with that. You wish to help me find the marmots? I have nothing suitable to pay you for your services, but if you're offering out the goodness of your heart, I'd welcome the assistance. Sure, yeah. Name's Arendelle, friend. Specialist in the collection of live specimens. That said, the capture of these Naxian marmots is a trial I've no desire to repeat. Grizzled mice, they call them. Excuse me. For mercy, there are no other marmot species on this tier at present, so there should be no mistaking our little fugitives. If you happen to catch any, stuff them in the sack. Gently, of course. Yeah, I won't rough them up too much. Where to begin, you wonder? I've not seen any scampering around here, so we'll need to widen our search into the surrounding forest. Be on your guard. There are beasts out there that won't hesitate to prey on you. Won't hesitate to prey on a marmot. Or you. I'll search your trees to the west. The eastern part of the forest is all yours. Good luck. So go this way. Oh, okay, we get the rat sack. Oh, it's that troll thing. Oh shoot. Oh, whatever. Ooh. These are pretty. Oh, up here. Cool. Oh, I just talked to it. Barely have you ready to sack when Grills and Mouse scampers off into the underbrush. It went over this way. Just follow the people around here, I guess. Or nimbly evades your grasp once more before disappearing into the trees. Okay. 11 seconds left. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to use my shroud in time. Well, it's 2. No, just 1. Oh, it's all the way up that way. Oh, I'm dumb. I could have just used my mount. Get around faster. Oh, it's not up here? I don't see any purpley spots. Oh, there's an 8th right there. I'll take this while I'm at it, at least, I guess. Okay, so where is this little... Ah, it's all the way over here in the corner. Now where to run, little guy? There we go. More prepared for its speed this time. Succeed in closing the sack early or release of quarry. Okay. Oh, I should probably attune to that if I'm able to. Looks like I might be able to. Nice. Charlie and Hamlet. Oh, a little bee mount. I love that one. Ah, my eye itches so bad. Oh my gosh. How'd you fare? I tracked down 3 of the pack, which leaves 1 unaccounted for. And here you go. Ah, there's the odd marmot out. Wait here a moment while I put our friends in a holding cage. Thankfully, Mards seem to be unharmed. They've held up well in isolation, but it's much too soon to release them into their habitat. It's a good thing we were able to recapture them so swiftly. You have my thanks. Why, the authority in charge of Labyrinthos, now and in perpetuity? The same officials who have us working day and night as of late. Oh, I forgot to put this to auto. What did they say? As of late. The honorable members of the forum. Who else? Suitable for consumption, easy to breed. Those are the two conditions I was given for the stock I was instructed to procure. I don't know what the forum has planned for these creatures, but at the very least, I doubt they'll be served for dinner today or tomorrow. Okay. There you are. Yep, here I am. Is this the gleaner you mentioned? The one who was looking for lost marmots? Yep. Interesting company you keep, friend. Who are you folk, anyway? I'm Kralo, the student of Aldessian. These others are my associates. Truth be told, the forum's decisions as of late have not sat entirely well with us. That's why I made the descent in the Labyrinthos. I hope that by seeing those decisions put into action, I might more fully understand their reasoning. Okay, sorry about that. Something came in. Wasn't practical. Never hurts to try and again to gain a broader perspective, doesn't it? Nope. Anyway, duty calls. Other animals to capture and enclosures to empty. Once again, I'm sorry that I can't offer you more for your services. Don't worry about it. Did you learn anything new from your friend there? Not really. So we've confirmed that the order of this ambitious operation did indeed come directly from the forum. However, the Gleaners have not been informed of its purpose. I'd say that fits with everything we've heard thus far. We also discovered when the operation was begun, the forum contacted the Gleaners Guild ship and put their people to this great work some 4 days after Telophorai made their chilling declaration. As seasoned travelers, Gleaners kept abreast of news from every corner of the world out of necessity. Thus am I inclined to trust that their calendar of events is accurate. Altogether, it gives the distinct impression that this undertaking was a sudden and unexpected development. Okay. Yeah, I find it hard to believe that such a comprehensive restructuring of Labyrinthos and its archives could have been planned in so brief a window. Nay, this plan was long in the making. They were but awaiting the right time to put it into effect. And the Telophorais declaration was what set it all in motion? It seems likely, but let us not leap to conclusions just yet. For the moment, I suggest we conduct a wider investigation of Labyrinthos. The more facilities we visit, the more pieces of the puzzle we stand to find. In that case, how about we head to the Archaean? From there, we can reach the lower. Oh, something's happening. Kyle, what's wrong? I'm fine, truly. This sudden descent has left me with a bit of a headache, that's all. Nothing that will stop me from soldiering on. Let's be about it, then. At least allow me to take the lead. I'm fairly certain I remember the way to the Archaean. Archaean? Follow path east to the forest where you were chasing after that mouse. Or marmot, was it? Anyway, 'tis the trolls you need to watch out for. Okay, watch out for the trolls. Got it. Oh wait, why am I just not using my mount? I'm dumb. Behold, the Archaeon. As Numenon serves as Charlene's literary archive, so does the structure house the city's wealth of material data. The architecture too is similar. This building you see is merely the upper entrance, an access point to the vaults carved into the cliffside itself. Within those vast rooms are stored countless samples and specimens, as well as the detailed records which describe them. In a manner of speaking, the Archaeon contains a physical history of Charlene's unwavering dedication to the accumulation of knowledge. Okay. And I'm gonna end it early here. And see you in the next one. Bye-bye.